Hi, I'm Paul from the Studio Rats. This is the second video where I'm hooking up a Boss GT-1000, incorporating a Boss ES-8 and all of my pedals, specifically to be working with the Boss GT-1000. Now, I've received the pedal board. The pedal board is built by a company called Alder and Ash, and it's a wooden pedal board. I can't tell you what it is, but it's fantastic. It's got ins and outs on it and power. So it just keeps everything really neat, and I'm absolutely blown away by the build quality and just the form of this pedal board. I think it's absolutely stunning. Anyway, what we're going to be doing in this video is to look at pedal choice, wiring, power, and all that sort of stuff, and actually getting the pedal board built. So let's get to it. Okay, so we've got the ES-8. Now, the way that this particular pedal board comes is it's got a cutout for the ES-8, so the ES-8 fits perfectly in there, which makes it really neat. Now, if we go underneath, we've got space underneath for power supply. Now, I'm going to be powering the whole board from this True Tone One Spot Pro, and when you buy the pedal board from Alder and Ash, it comes pre-wired up for power. So I reckon that'll go about there. So not only have we got space for the power supply under there, which fits perfectly, we've also got space for other pedals to go under here as well. So for instance, I've got this pedal that I absolutely love, which is a rainbow trem, it was made by this guy in Thailand. And I bought it off of eBay once, but it sounds fantastic. For some reason, all the graphics started peeling off, so I just pulled it all off. But it's a pedal that I use so much. So what I'll do, because it doesn't look very nice, I'll stick that under there as well. So I'm thinking, because we've got lots of space here, I can either have the GT-1000 there, so I've got access to extra pedals. But what I'll probably do is to have the GT-1000 up there, so I've got access to the stereo outs when I'm not using it with an amplifier, when I'm using it direct. Now, the way that I'm thinking of rigging this up is the way that I would have the order of the pedals. So I'll probably have my SP compressor there, my Keeley compressor there, Black Eye Boost, tube screamer. Now, because I bought these Boss cables, everything's going to be quite neat. So I reckon I'll be able to get all this lot much closer to each other. So next, probably have the plumes. And lastly, I want to fit two more pedals. But what I'm thinking of having here is an expression pedal or a volume pedal. Something like this Mission expression pedal, but that's not too neat. That'll fit there. Possibly I might just keep that like that. Now, I've got two extra pedals to fit. Now, what I could do, I could have one of these pedals or both of these pedals actually underneath again, where I don't need to touch them. Now, I might do that with a pedal that I wouldn't normally touch. So with these compressors, I wouldn't be touching these compressors. So these compressors might go under the board and these two might stay up here. Or what I could do is to mount them like that. Now, because this Mission pedal sticks up so far, I'm going to have something up here, which means that this isn't going to open properly. So I think I'm going to have to go and get a smaller expression pedal, which I'll fit here, which I'll order now. So with the Alder and Ash pedal board, Rich, the guy that makes these pedal boards, has included some velcro kindly. So what I'm going to do is to fit the velcro to these areas here and underneath the ES-8 and underneath this, so I can fit all these pedals and attach everything there. So I've got the velcro on, so all of these pedals are fixed firmly in place. This is how I'm going to have it laid out on top. Got the compressor, another compressor, Black Eye Boost, plumes, the Friedman BEOD overdrive, the GT-1000 is going to be there. And then underneath, I've got an MXR reverb, the Ivey tube screamer, and this old trem. Now, I'm not really going to be touching the controls on these, so that's why they're going to be staying underneath. So now the next thing I need to do is to wire up the power. Now, when you buy one of these one-spot power supplies, you get like a bundle of cables in there. So and I've literally just got tons of power cables, so I'm going to be using those. Now, on the One Spot Pro, you've got a couple of 500 milliamp outputs. Now, that's going to need to go to the GT-1000 and the ES-8 as they draw quite a high current. Now I'm going to send power to the rest of the pedals. I know this looks a bit messy at the moment, but really this is just to see if I can get everything working. What I'm going to do after I've got everything working and everything wired up with the audio cables as well is I'll probably take all of this off and start again just to wire it up so it's all neat and nice and proper. The next stage is getting all of these pedals wired up with the audio cable. Now, this Boss solderless pedalboard cable comes with all the connectors, even a little screwdriver. Now, it's really easy to do. All you've got to do is to get one of these cables, to push it in as far as it goes, get one of these screws, and then screw it in so it's tight. So what I'm going to do with this is to feed that through there and under here. And I need to wire this into the ES-8's send number 1, which is right there. I need to give myself, a decent amount of cable so when we lift up the lid, it doesn't pull. So I reckon if I chop about there, that'll be fine. Now, the trick is with these solderless cables is you've got to make it a straight cut as opposed to an angle cut. It's got to be dead straight. So let's do that about there. Then we get another connector, put that on, get another one of these little screws, and then just screw it in. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire up this whole pedal board, and then I'll be back after that. Okay, so we're all wired up. Now I've got it in manual mode. I'm going to show you how it works in manual mode at the moment, and then in a different video I'm going to be going through how to set up the ES-8 to actually work in program mode, where you're actually going to be programming patches so you can have different combinations and different orders of pedals and have it set up as a patch. But at the moment we're just going to look at manual mode. So button 7 sends my guitar straight to the GT-1000. The first compressor is on loop number 1. Now, I would use that compressor if I was using a single core guitar, something like a Telecaster or a Strat. So for this PRS, I'm using loop number 2, which is the Keeley compressor. Now, the Keeley compressor has an EQ in it. That's why I use the Keeley for the PRS, because it gives it a bit more top end. Now, depending on what sort of sound that I was using, I would probably leave that compressor on. Pedal number 3 is my boost pedal. Pedal number 4 is the Earthquaker Devices plumes. And loop number 5 I got set up with the Friedman BEOD. And loop 6 is that tremolo that I was talking about that's actually underneath the lid. Now, say that I want to send my guitar signal with the pedals over to an amplifier, which I've got over here. All I have to do, click on pedal 7, and it instantly goes over to one of the amplifiers. I really hope you guys got something out of that. If you did get something out of it, don't forget to like and subscribe and click on the bell button and you'll be notified of any future video that comes out from the Studio Rats. I'm Paul and I'll see you next time. Cheers.